New angle. Look how much of my apartment you can now see. Too much, if I'm being honest. I'm uncomfortable with how much you can see, but consider it a sneak peek at an apartment tour video that will never come. This is the second time I'm recording this video today, as the first time the entire thing was out of focus. So I'm sorry if my frustrations towards my camera are evident in this video. I'm gonna punch this camera. This might come as a surprise, everyone, but I didn't go to design school. That's right. If you've clicked on this video, let's say that either two things. One, you know me and you like me. Two, you're, and let me tell you, I've been here. You are binging a bunch of videos about whether or not to go to design school because you yourself cannot decide whether or not you should go to design school. I've been there. We've all been there. Welcome to another video to be thrown into the mix. You know, another dice being thrown on the board. Every graphic design YouTube juggernaut has made their own video about whether or not you should go to design school. So this is mine. And I think I have an interesting perspective, interesting enough to warrant giving a whole video to it. So hopefully you find it interesting or informative or helpful. I don't know. We'll see. It's the second time recording this, so who knows? Before we get into it, if you would like to subscribe to the channel, please do. Making you an Elliot. That's the name of our community. The Elliots. Don't ask. It just is. Dude, I'm sorry. And also, I would like to present to you today's featured item of the week. This week, of course, it is the Cherub console by Objects by Kit. Congratulations, Objects by Kit, on the featured item of the week. This is the first time I've ever done this. I think I like items a lot, so I'm going to feature one every week. Honorable mention goes to High Chew mango flavor. These things are fucking fantastic. So I think it only makes sense to start with, I guess, my journey. I think that makes sense, right? My self-taught journey. So let's talk about that really quickly. So I learned a little bit about graphic design when I was in high school. Middle school, I guess, is what you would call it if in the United States. I learned how to use Photoshop was the main thing, and that was very good. And then I did a few posters and stuff for some school events that were going on. Just volunteered my services instead of studying to do some graphic design stuff, and that was fun. That was good. I enjoyed doing that. That was a good time. And then kind of as I graduated, I would do it a little bit more for clients and stuff. But I actually did go to a university, funnily enough. I went to the University of Sydney for 1 year, one glorious year in 2017, and I dropped out at the end of 2017 because I was not very good at university. I was doing a Bachelor of Arts, which is not a Bachelor of Visual Arts, it's arts, which is more like the humanities and stuff. I was majoring in psychology, if that gives you any indication of what I was up to. And I was terrible at it. I was really, really bad. I handed in assignments late. I enjoyed the learning part. Like I really enjoyed the lectures and the classes and everything. But when it came to just doing the assignments, it felt like I was in high school all over again, and it just wasn't for me. And that's fine. I think that's okay. So I don't even, it was a weird degree to kind of do, but we did it, and it was fun for a bit, but I dropped out. Then after that, I did a few more design things for, friends and family and whatever. And then I started posting on Instagram. Instagram kind of took off, and over the course of the next 3 years, we get to where we are today, which is content creation, graphic design stuff. If you might have seen my work on Instagram, if you don't know me, Elliot is a cool guy, the graphic design meme man, but I design the memes. I call them art. Okay, thank you very much. But they're funny. They're very shareable. The main thing that I kind of want to say, the reason I do say all that is because I have a different experience, I guess, to most people who would be self-taught, I think. If you're not going to design school, you're going like the self-taught path, right? That they say, like the freelancer path and stuff. And I guess I kind of didn't really have that because I kind of went the Instagram path, which is like a newer path. I think I'm calling it a path. It's a thing that you can do. I haven't worked in like a studio. I haven't got like a proper design job. So take that into your consideration with what I have to say about design school and stuff. I still didn't go, but like I didn't get a job. I have the job, but I made the job. I didn't get the job. This makes sense, and this is good. Main question, I guess, to start with is why? Why didn't I go to design school? I would say the main thing was I was very considerate of time. I think I was like what, 18, 19 when I dropped out of my arts degree. So I was kind of like really like thinking about how much time I had to do things in my life, and I was really stressed about it all. And the main thing was like, I was thinking, okay, do I do a 3-year design degree and then like leave with a job or like a junior role or something, or like an internship or whatever? Or like I've already done some design work, maybe I can do it myself. 3 years is a lot of time. I can probably build something out of that, right? So that was what was kind of going through my head. And I can't see too far down the future or anything like that, but it has been the 3 years and it did work out, which is cool. But like it was at the time, it was just like the idea of signing up for another degree, even with an absolute flop of a degree that I'd already done for a year, you know, like the idea of doing 3 more years of that, even though it was to do with design, like, which was something I was much more passionate about than psychology, would you believe? I was still very hesitant, and the whole idea of, yeah, you know, 3 years, I was like, oh, it's a lot of time. Maybe we should just give it a crack ourselves. So that's what I ended up doing. Sorry, everyone, my camera ran out of battery, so I had to change my entire setup. It's almost as though the world doesn't want me to make this video. Big design, maybe trying to hide me from exposing secrets about the industry, maybe? It is taking every ounce of energy to film this video right now. This is the 3rd time things have gone wrong. So I've told you why I didn't want to go, kind of. There's more to it in the end, but we'll kind of get to it as the video goes on. But I just want to make it clear that this is not like a fuck design school kind of video as well. I've heard that I've heard many good experiences from design school. I've heard many bad experiences, but I've also heard many good ones. I also think that I would have really enjoyed design school, which is kind of sad that I didn't go in the end, but we'll also talk more about that too. But yeah, it's not like, this is just my experience, and hopefully telling you my experience might help you making a decision that it might dictate your experience, you know, because I think everyone's different, and I don't think there's one answer. You're not going to find one on YouTube anyway, unfortunately, but hopefully this might be able to help. So yeah. But yeah, let's talk about some of the things that I've enjoyed being a self-taught designer. If you're thinking about being a self-taught kind of freelancer thing, some of the things that you might want to look forward to, and then some of the things that you might not know, some of the that you might not look forward to, maybe some of the terrible things, but we'll talk about those. Let's do it. I really enjoy the freedom. I really liked how kind of I've been able to see where my career's kind of gone and choose its path almost as I've gone through, right? I've become a better designer by making things, and being able to choose what I was making was really nice, right? I'm not a logo designer or anything like that. I don't think I would have gotten better at design if I was like really just pushing out logos and stuff. Pretty much every online article about how to make it as a graphic designer will say that personal projects are key to your success, right? Like being able to fill your portfolio when you've got like 2 clients, which is pretty much what I was when I was just starting out. Being able to fill that portfolio with like fake clients and these fake projects that you have put so much time into, so you can show how much time you're going to put into the client, right? That's great. I'm a big fan of that. But I was also a big fan of being able to like I'm not a branding guy, so being able to turn my Instagram page almost into like this portfolio and into this personal project was really good for me, right? Being able to combine my love for like graphic design and comedy meant that I was motivated to make stuff that wasn't for clients, yeah? So I think the most important thing and a good thing to do is just to be continuously making stuff. I think that's really important. You're not going to get better if you don't design, and that's just part of the fun, right? We love design. Of course we want to design. We just need to find reasons to design. So giving yourself reasons to is a really motivating thing, and I enjoyed that. Being able to make my own reasons rather than kind of like having assignments to do it, you know? Like I was giving my own assignments, yeah? Something to do. Give your own assignments. That's cool. That's got a nice ring to it. It's also cool to like do it yourself in a way, I guess. There's a nice feeling at the end of it all when you like look back and you go like, hey, I didn't need a degree to do this. Flex. No, it's not a flex at all. It's just like nice to know that you kind of like, you chose to teach yourself and you taught yourself. Yeah? That's cool, I think. I think that's cool. People should be proud of that. I'm proud of myself. Tell myself that every day in the mirror. And also being self-taught and kind of doing work and doing client work and stuff, you also realize that it wasn't necessary, you know, like at the end of the day, no one really cares whether or not you went to design school or not, apart from some fellow designers, some of those toxic people, you know, not me, but there are people, they do exist. They're in my DMs. But it's like you can make it your own way, and doing it is like proving that, right? So I enjoyed not having the regret, like not thinking, oh, I would have had a better job if I went to design school, right? Like I regret not going to design school for other reasons, but like I can appreciate that I got a lot out of not going, and I haven't ended up in a better or worse position thanks to design school. You know? Some of the harder things to kind of get your head around, though, is it is like you're kind of set more on a freelancer path, which has a bunch of different things attached to it, you know, like running your own business and all this stuff. Like maybe that's for another video, the whole business side of it all, because I can't even get my head around it personally. But like you do kind of set yourself up for that, right? You want to be able to get a good portfolio that you can show people, and to do that you need to take on clients. To do that without having a job, you need to do freelance stuff. So it's like you kind of do go down that path. That's not a bad thing necessarily. You can get a lot out of like doing freelance stuff when you're just starting out, which is really cool as well. You learn a lot about it. It can be quite discouraging though. There are some really bad clients. Working with bad clients when you're just starting out as a designer is one of the least encouraging things around. Like, oh my God. Most of the time, the client has probably never worked with a graphic designer as well, so you're both going into it with no idea of how things should be dealt, and it's just terrible, right? It's just the perfect storm, and it doesn't work, and you kind of like sit down after the job, you've submitted it, it's like 3 a.m., and you just go, oh, why am I a graphic designer? I felt that feeling many times when I was just starting out, and that kind of feels like it could have been avoided, maybe going to a design school potentially, but also a lot of those life lessons aren't really taught at design schools from what I've heard. But at least you could have skipped maybe the early freelancing part by just getting into like a junior design role or something like that. But yeah, that's kind of an annoying thing. But the main thing I would say is it's a bit lonely. It's a lonely experience. Were it not for this online community that I've created over my years of posting on Instagram, I think it would have been really hard to kind of keep going as a graphic designer. You're handed some pretty shit cards when you're just starting out, and it's like I had no idea how much to charge people. I had no idea how to do certain things. Like it was just a frustrating process when I was just starting out. And what I love so much about design school and looking at it from afar is the idea of like the classroom and like having classmates, having people who just want to kind of learn together. And that's just something you don't get when you do it yourself, right? Sure, you have like, I don't know, Skillshare communities and stuff. That's a thing. But like, it's not the same as that either in person or even like virtual interaction with other classmates who are doing the same assignments, going through the same challenges as you are, and people who are able to talk it out. And it's just nice to know that other people are doing it with you as well. And it's nice to know that at the end of the degree, you kind of like have a chance to have made these friends as well, like design friends. I think design friends is a whole nother thing as well. Design friends are hard to come by. I got a few design friends. They're good people. That's really nice to have design friends. In fact, if it weren't for some design friends when I was just starting out, I probably wouldn't have known how to do most things, right? Like, it wasn't until a friend told me how much they were charging for projects in Australia that I realized that I was lowballing every single client that I had ever booked. For context, they told me that the industry standard was like $1,000 Australian dollars, and I was like, I've been charging like $200 for a poster. What on earth have I been doing? And then as soon as I bumped my prices up, almost every client was like, no worries, sounds good, that's in our budget. And I was like, why don't clients just give you the budget first thing? It's the most frustrating thing in the world, isn't it? Why should graphic design be about saving money? Hiring a graphic designer? Oh, they quoted under budget? Oh, we're saving money. Fuck you. Yeah. Say it, Elliot. But yeah, I'm glad I have the kind of design friends and community that I have, but it was quite difficult for a while there when I kind of went in with no idea of what I was doing and didn't have any advice or any people to kind of ask. I mean, online, the resources, especially for like the Australian design industry, is like next to nothing. So from what I've seen at least. So yeah, it's nice to have like actual people that you can kind of refer to for stuff. And I think design school definitely offers that. It's an interesting journey being self-taught. Like I said earlier in the video, I'm not really like a junior designer, or I don't have like a design job. I'm more of like content creation now, I guess, which is still graphic design, but kind of falls outside of that. I don't do as much client work as the regular graphic designer would, for example. But yeah, I still think it's definitely a good option. And I think it's never been a better time. The knowledge is there. The info is there. It's all online. If you're able to access it, then you can bloody go for it. But I would have loved to go to design school. That's very true. I think there was a lot for design school to offer me, and let's talk about that. Another reason I didn't go to a design school is because I couldn't really choose which one I wanted to go to, right? Like, the decisions were quite overwhelming. There's not too many in Sydney, but like, it's a lot about like which, I don't know, I just couldn't tell which one was kind of standing out more than the next. And like looking back and seeing, you know, people like designers that I really admire, like seeing where they've graduated from, like these designers that I didn't know existed until recently, like seeing that they kind of went to this one place or whatever, I'm like, oh damn, I could have gone there. That looked like it would have been good. I wish I'd known this before. So that's kind of frustrating. I'd probably be a better designer if I went to design school. I genuinely think that would be the case. Not just for like technical stuff, like obviously I only learned Illustrator at the start of this year when I've been designing for like 5 years. I imagine I probably would have been forced to use Illustrator earlier on, but I feel like I just would have been able to try more things without having to push myself to try it. Like I've gotten to a stage now where I feel like I've plateaued for like the last year in terms of my skill, right? I haven't really been experimenting too much. Not because I don't have the time or anything, just because I don't like have the space for it. Like I feel very burnt out, which is very annoying, but it's like if I went to a design school, I imagine I would have been able to experiment with a bunch of different stuff, do a bit of 3D design, do a bit of web design, and kind of learn a bunch about everything, and then be able to specialize later and use those different things to kind of combine into my own style a little bit better. Like I'd love to do more 3D stuff, but it's just that thing of like starting from scratch is so hard. Like I've tried like 3 times to learn Blender, Cinema 4D, all of it, and I get about a week in and then I don't know, I get bored or something and I stop. If I had like assignments to do and stuff like that where I had to learn it, I feel like I would have learned it and it would have really helped later on. And even like logo design, right? Like just conceptual thinking about that, and like I got no idea how to do a logo still. I will just put text on a screen and call it a day. Yeah. Logo type, I think, is the term. Got no clue. Have I really needed to do logo design in my career? No, I've been perfectly fine without having to do any, but maybe I would have at least enjoyed the process of logo design if I had learned how to do it better at a school. Like once again, if I had been kind of forced into it through the process of a curriculum rather than like opting out of a certain part of it, like just not watching a YouTube tutorial, right? And instead going to how to make text glow on a brick wall neon light effect. Some great tutorials for that. So that would have been nice, just to have a better grasp, I guess, of the things that most designers are kind of expected to do. I still feel very weak in client situations unless I'm like taking a photo with a piece of like a laptop or something and being like, Elliot is a cool guy, recommends this. Like I'm not good with the branding stuff, and I would like to be. I think it would help even branding like the YouTube channel and branding my Twitch stream and all that stuff, and I think it would have been cool, but yeah, didn't really get around to that ever. And I know a lot of unis kind of offer that internship experience as well, which I think I would have gained a lot from as well. Kind of like being in the room with the studio, meeting those people, learning a lot from them. Like that would have been really helpful too. And it's a shame that I kind of never got to go through that. I mean, I cold emailed a lot of design studios. No one replied, but I did email them. I used to do this thing. I was trying to be real cheeky and stand out with my email. Shout out to anyone out there. Shout out to the people who want to stand out. I used to do this thing where I would send 3 photos of myself and I would say, here's a nice looking photo, a casual looking photo, and a photo of me in disguise. And I just attach that at the end of the email, like as a PS section. Why did I do that? Tell what I'm glad about there? That I saved a fuck ton of money. Oh my God. Design school is expensive. Very expensive if you didn't know. Look into it. At least it is here. The main thing with design school is that I find there are a lot of like these private kind of colleges that offer design as a thing, which means that you can't like, I guess, put it off. The whole thing that we have here is this, we've got this thing called HEX, which is like you're able to let the government pay for your uni fees up front, and then you just pay the government back slowly year by year, kind of like an extra tax. Yeah. Good system. It should be free, but it's a good system considered from what I've heard in the United States of America. And some places didn't offer that, and they were looking at like, $20,000 to $50,000 a year or something like that. Like, what the fuck? For a design education? No, knowing well that there's all this stuff online, I was like, what am I really going to get out of this? So that was I'm glad I missed out on some of that. Shout out to all the designers uploading free tutorials on YouTube and stuff, honestly, because every tutorial is a step closer towards getting a free college education, because honestly, it is ridiculous how expensive all that stuff is. There was another school I looked into, actually. There was like the three main schools that I was looking into were, there was UTS, University of Technology Sydney. They've got a really good degree, I think. That would, if I had to do it, I would go there. That's what I would do. The Bachelor of Visual Communication, that one seems really good. A lot of very talented people coming out of that degree recently. Wow. Billy Blue, which I went to like an open day for, and that looked cool, but once again, so expensive, and I'm pretty sure you couldn't hex that. And then there was Shillington, which I imagine would relate to a lot of people because Shillington's kind of like a worldwide thing. And the thing with Shillington is like it's more of a shorter course, right? There's like a year, like 6 months to a year kind of stuff. And it feels very much like, you know, get all the technical stuff done. And then you're like ready. You're like the base graphic designer taking on the world. Like I've got a bunch of stuff that I've made in a ready to go portfolio. I am ready to get a job. So that's very much like go in, get a job kind of vibe. And that probably would have helped at least learn Illustrator once again, but still kind of glad I didn't go there. But I think I would have just loved the learning process, really. Like, I hate the whole thing with unis, and I noticed it even in my arts degree, that like you go to get a job, right? It's all about getting job ready. If you do an arts degree or like a visual arts degree or whatever, like a degree in the humanities, what are you doing with yourself? What are you going to do with that degree and all that stuff, right? That's what you get asked by your grandparents at the family dinner. But like the point of a university and a college is to learn, right? As cringe as that sounds. And like enjoying the process of learning is something that's so nice, and just you just don't really get that unless I feel you go into those lectures, into those classrooms, and kind of have that teaching experience that you only really get at a school. I would have loved to know about design history. I would have loved to have learned the rules just so I could break them, all that stuff. But instead, I just kind of went in and I did my own thing, and then kind of, you know, did that thing where you copy people for a while and then you slowly learn how to design, and then, you know, you kind of make your own style out of it, that whole thing. But I feel like some design schools can set you up to have a really, I don't know, impactful design career, you know, being more than just a graphic designer, but like use it as your tool, as your art form, as a form of expression. Definitely think I do that in my own work now, but I feel like it just would have been more refined if I had gone to design school. I don't know what it is about it. I feel like it would just more thought through, less for content and more for the love of design. I'm just content now, unfortunately. I would have been, the love of design is what I'm trying to find now, but yeah. This is been a bit of a mess, but I hope this is all making sense. At the end of the day, if there's one thing you can take away at the end of this video, there's a million YouTube videos on this, and all that really matters is what do you think your learning style matches more, right? If you don't know anything about graphic design, you want to be a better graphic designer, are you going to be better at doing the assignments, going back to like a school kind of style thing, learning the history, learning all this stuff, and then graduating with a complete portfolio? Is that your style? Or do you think you're better off doing it yourself? Opening up your laptop, following some YouTube tutorials, slowly gaining knowledge, evolving, developing, posting your work online, meeting new people, getting all these new clients organically. Like, is that your kind of go, right? So just consider that. That's the main thing. You should know, I feel. I feel like most people would know. If you are tossing up this question in your head, it means that you're ready to make the move and become a graphic designer. And that's the coolest thing about all this. Because we as graphic designers are very lucky. We have a very, very cool job in that we get to do something that we love, that is creative, and we get to apply that in our day-to-day and design for our lives, livelihoods. That's pretty cool. If you feel passionate enough about design, you're gonna make it work. It's not that big of a deal going or not. The title of this video says whatever because I truly believe whatever, right? No one gives a shit if you have a degree or not. No client's going to be looking for your degree when they see your work and they're blown away and then they go, oh, wait, they don't have a degree? Why on earth would we hire them? No, they're going to hire you because they want you to replicate work you've already done and just put their name on it, right? That's what design's all about. So don't be too concerned, right? Just think about what's good for you. What do you think will work best for your future? And make a decision on that. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. You'll work it out eventually, I think, if you truly love it that much. So yeah, and try not to think about the job of it all too much. I mean, it's kind of hard because we we're in a pretty fucked up world where money is at the core of everything, and that if you don't have a job, you're kind of, you know, in a tricky situation, and everything kind of relies on you having money. But try to enjoy the process. That's the most important thing. Don't forget your love for design, because I forgot my love for design in like the past year, and it's not great. You kind of just miss being able to come up with stuff and try new things without worrying about what other people think and stuff. So the 3 years of design school, or of kind of starting your journey, should be about experimenting, finding your feet, and learning about what it takes to be a graphic designer. So really have fun, experiment, do what you think will work, and that's pretty much it. That's my inspirational speech to finish the video. The first time I recorded it was much better. Too bad it was out of focus. At least I can rest now, that knowing that this one is done. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this helped. Good luck on your journey, whatever it may be. If you have any questions about graphic design, being self-taught, design school, whatever it is, chuck it in the comments. If I can't answer a question, I'm sure someone else will be able to. So chuck them down there. I'll either see you next week for another video, or I'll see you on Friday for Design Chef, or Thursday night if you're in the United States of America, or some other time zones. Just my main audience is from the United States of America, so it makes sense. That's on at 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, or Thursday night US time, I think. Check out my print store, buy Casetify cases. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter and all that. I tweet about the Washington Wizards now, I think. I think I will have worked up the confidence to tweet about them by the time this video comes out. But otherwise, I'll see you next time. All right. Thanks so much for watching. Your support recently has been unreal. Can I just say, really liking the stuff I'm putting out recently, and I'm so glad you guys are as well. Awesome. Thanks. See ya. Bye. See ya. See ya. See ya.